Morning guys, it's lockdown lesson number 1 coming from my shed. Today we're going to have a look at the work of some designers in the design movement called Memphis, and we're going to build up some initial sketches in 3D to try and work on our design development skills and avoid fixation on one idea. Then we're going to start doing some modelling over the course of the next few lessons in a range of materials with what we've got at home, so with card, paper by making nets, or interlocking designs using corrugated card, or if like me you've been preparing for this situation, we can use some more resistant materials to build some models that are going to be less of a prototype, more of a final functioning item. But there's more of that to come in the next few videos. So I'm just going to show you some ideas now and then some drawing techniques. Cheers. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to search Memphis Design. Memphis is an 80s design movement that goes to sort of contradict the previous styles of 80s furniture and products that were a lot more sort of sleek and minimalistic. And this goes for a much more creative, playful design style that uses a lot of symmetry, but also asymmetry. A lot of this kind of graphic design work, like you can see on the right-hand side here, has become very popular recently in graphic and interior design. Obviously, if you take the look pretty far, like the top one, you might end up looking like you work in a nursery, but we're going to take some inspiration from the use of simple geometric shapes, nice bold pastel colours and other designs. So first of all, I would like you to make a mood board for about half an hour of a range of both patterns and images that inspire you. This Memphis group piece over here on the right with the yellow tabletops, the left, sorry, that's very much in keeping with the type of thing we're going to be looking at, and I'll show you the products that I've made shortly. Okay, so the project that we're going to aim to work on now is we're going to think about designing a stand for your phone or tablet that's inspired by these ideas. We're going to look at how we can use household objects, recycled materials, as well as wood and card and other things in future. At the moment, all we're thinking about is form and function based on the research that we've done. Okay, basic function, not details of the inclusion of charging stands and things like that. We're just thinking about how we're going to support the phone and the kind of shapes that we're going to use. So I'm going to use a technique called crating. So in isometric drawing, you start off with a basic isometric box. Now, my students have all done this before. The key to it is that this angle here is approximately 30 degrees. But really what we're thinking about is the parallel lines here, that the lines are all parallel. Within this now, I'm going to draw a triangular prism. So I found the centre mark, just all by hand. You can use a ruler if you want. I prefer to just sketch initially. So I've now got a triangular prism, apologies, sitting inside my crate. Now the crate is normally drawn as part of the process of getting the shape right, but actually I can now use this to think about, well, what other functionality could I add in, or forms could I add in using the existing crate? So I've got a block there. I haven't really thought about the function yet. I'm just drawing almost interlocking, adjoining geometric shapes, and just I'll see how the ideas unfold as I go along. So I've now got triangular prism with a little platform poking out. I'm going to make the bottom part here hollow and just show some indication, because I've thought of it, of a joint up there, a mitre joint, and how that would work if I was making it with traditional sort of woodworking materials. And I've added a line there to show that that is a hollow section. Okay, and that's my first idea done. We're going to look at trying to do maybe about 10 ideas of sketches, but you'll see that one has taken me literally 2 minutes. Okay, obviously I've done quite a lot of drawing, but I know that you've all been very skilled in those areas too. It's just about representing ideas though. Don't ever say I can't draw. You know, your exam board aren't going to mark you down for your inability to draw. They will mark you down for not showing a broad enough range of ideas. So just keep going with it and don't scribble anything out. Right, I'm now going to draw in another one. You'll notice I start drawing these crates in a different way every time. It's a habit. Again though, parallel lines, 30 degrees roughly. I'm going to take this idea and I'm going to run with it slightly more. So I'm going to say, I'm going to have a back panel in there. And I'm going to have a base panel. And then I'm going to find the centre of that, and I'm going to make a triangle coming from the back. So this is slightly more now thinking about the function. I need something to rest the object against, the phone or the iPad. It's going to be very useful to have this for me because at the moment my phone is clamped on to a piece of wood, so I can do this. So if I design something that's got increased functionality, it's going to help me even just with simple things like making these videos. There's the triangle pat there, back piece. If I were to rest my phone against there, it's going to fall over unless I've got a grippy case on. I don't want to rely on the case, so I'm going to think about adding in some holes there. Now, as a drawer, I've had another idea. What if I were to drill out, or if I'm making a prototype at home with card, just to stab in a range of holes, and then I could have a piece of metal or a piece of card that is arced with the same size hole on, let's say it's going to be 6mm, that could be put in at different positions. I've got the curve of the Art Deco, Memphis style in there. I've got some geometric shapes, they're interlocking. I've got some functionality. So that's an idea I think I can start to run with. Over here, I'm going to draw out a cylinder and consider, just had a thought thinking about what a baked bean tin looks like when you take the label off. You've got these nice ridges around it, running around there. And you've got a nickel plate, but it almost looks like a chrome finish. So could I incorporate something like that with a block and then a triangular section perhaps, or a square section coming out the back? Now this actually has gone off from being isometric now and is more of an oblique drawing, but I don't want you to get too fixated on that, because what I want you to think about is developing a range of ideas. Now this one almost starts to look architectural, like a range of buildings or a factory. I don't know where the phone's going to go. I haven't thought about that. I'm just thinking, what kind of objects have I got? What kind of shapes could I use? And that's another good way of designing. Think about the objects you've got and how it could work. The phone could be rested within there. This could also be a stationery holder. Okay, I want you to run with the idea and try and make it really interesting. You can add in additional functionality, of course, but just keep sketching. Fill a page or more with lots of ideas. And then I'll be back with another video later in the week of methods of prototyping those in a range of materials.